I want to show you one more thing about mail before we move on. This is a feature that's new in the interface. It was always there behind the scenes, but you had to do a bit of manipulation to get to it. And it's very, very powerful. In the mailboxes that you create on your own computer, messages are stored in them. You move them either manually or using rules from your inboxes into your mailboxes. And remember that a message can only be in one mailbox. When you create smart mailboxes, messages may appear to be in more than one mailbox, but physically there's only one location where that message is. I can select a mailbox and from the mailbox menu choose to archive the mailbox. What the archive will do is it will create, and I already inside my documents folder, I created a folder called archived mailboxes. And within that folder, what I want to do is to archive my VTC mailbox. And it doesn't take very long because I already have very, very few messages in there. If I come in here and look inside Documents, Archived Mailboxes, this is inside the work folder. Here is the mailbox that I just created. I had previously done the same thing as another demonstration, so that's why there's a -1 here on it. But this is the mailbox that I just created now. If I come back here and select it, I can come up to the File menu, to the Mailbox menu, and delete that mailbox. It's now gone from the mail environment. Now, if I come in here to the File menu and choose Import Mailboxes, I can import mail from any of these mail programs or from Mbox files. These are for the files that I've removed and archived. I come in here into my archived mailboxes folder, and you can call it anything you want, and I'll pick these. It doesn't matter which one I pick, they're identical. And the archive has been brought in, and here it is inside the import folder, and it's called Mbox. I can move it where I want it to and rename it, and I have now brought the messages in, including notes and to-dos if I had them. I've brought the messages in from that archive. What's important is that by deleting the mailbox, you can save some disk space. You can move your archive to an external CD or DVD and burn it. And mail functions a little bit faster if you take really old messages out of the system, because when you're searching for messages, you just don't want the ancient messages there, but you still, I know I find even email messages 10 years old, occasionally, maybe once a year, I need to go back, and it's easier just to archive the entire mailbox, put it aside, and if you need to go back to it, bring it back into mail, and then you can search through it. And then re-archive it again, perhaps, if you want. So the archiving mechanism is the way of saving your mail. One tip about using archives: if you have a mailbox that you are continuing to add to, let's say it's ongoing projects, and month after month after month you add messages to it, if you archive it, then you either have to start a new mailbox, or you have to remember that messages from last year would be in one archive and messages from the year before would be in another archive. That's why I find it easier to, if your environment allows you to do this, create a mailbox for projects or for things that have a beginning and an end, a logical beginning and end, and then when the project is complete, archive that mailbox. But it's really difficult to get into a situation if you do have to go back and find messages where you have to look through archive after archive after archive. So if you can have the archive name and contents be logical, so that you know if there's a message relating to such and such that it would be in this archive and not that one, that'll make your life easier.